Monks are supposed to live a life of complete purity. But in Journey to the West, there's one exception. He lived to 270 years old and enjoyed an extremely luxurious temple life. This monk is Elder Jinchi. His closest friend is a black bear, the black bear Guai, known in black myth Wukong as a rookie killer that drives countless players crazy. In today's video, we will explore the Black Wind Mountain chapter, where we will see just how greedy Elder Jinchi is, and how cunning Black Bear Guai can be. This is the story from the original Journey to the West, and it is a must-know for players of Black Myth Wukong. I'm Mr. Yao, and welcome to the Leyenda Yokai channel. Here, I share famous yokai and urban legends. I'm also working on content related to Journey to the West. If you're a fan of these topics, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any future videos. When Tharn Shanzong set out from the Tharn dynasty to journey west for the scriptures, Guan gave him two sacred treasures, a jeweled kasaya and a 9-ringed staff. As they passed near Black Wind Mountain, Sun Wukong, mischievous as ever, played with his master's jeweled kasaya. The kasaya shone with a golden light, catching the attention of a nearby black bear Guai, who immediately set his sights on stealing it. 6 miles from Black Wind Mountain stood Guan Temple, overseen by an elderly monk, Elder Jinchi. Although he was a monk, Elder Jinchi was infatuated with wealth and luxury. He had lavishly decorated Guan Temple with various extravagant items, clearly straying far from the pure and simple life expected of monks. Sun Wukong and Tharn Shanzong passed by Guan Temple and decided to stay for the night. Tharn Shanzong explained their purpose to the monks at the temple. Upon hearing that Tharn Shanzong had come all the way from the Tharn dynasty, the monks dared not be negligent and quickly invited their abbot, Elder Jinchi, to greet him. Elder Jinchi welcomed Tharn Shanzong and Sun Wukong. As he looked them over, he noticed that neither appeared particularly wealthy, and he immediately felt a sense of superiority. While hosting Tharn Shanzong, he took the opportunity to boast about the temple's various luxurious items, such as teapots and cups, subtly belittling Tharn Shanzong in his casual conversation. Elder Jinchi's disdain for Tharn Shanzong's actions infuriated Sun Wukong. When Elder Jinchi boasted about his age of 270 years, Tharn Shanzong expressed astonishment, while Sun Wukong scoffed, saying that such an age only warranted him the status of a grandson. Elder Jinchi had never been ridiculed like this before, and suppressing his anger, he asked Tharn Shanzong if he had brought any treasures from the Tharn dynasty, secretly hoping to mock their apparent poverty. Tharn Shanzong explained that their purpose was to travel west for the scriptures and that they had brought no treasures with them. Unable to tolerate Elder Jinchi's arrogance, Sun Wukong interjected, mentioning that his master possessed a treasure, the jeweled kasaya given to him by Guan. Upon hearing about the kasaya, Elder Jinchi smugly claimed to have nearly 1,000 kasayas in his collection, insisting there was none he had not seen. He then ordered his disciples to take Tharn Shanzong and Sun Wukong to his treasure vault to admire his kasayas. Upon arriving at Elder Jinchi's treasure vault, he proudly began to showcase his collection of kasayas. However, Sun Wukong dismissed them with disdain. Ignoring his master's warnings, he insisted on bringing out Tharn Shanzong's jeweled kasaya for Elder Jinchi to see. As soon as the kasaya was revealed, its radiant golden light mesmerized Elder Jinchi. Elder Jinchi held the kasaya in his hands, refusing to return it to Tharn Shanzong. He repeatedly begged Tharn Shanzong to lend it to him for just one night, promising to return it the next day. Reluctantly, Tharn Shanzong, aware that he needed to stay the night, agreed to Elder Jinchi's request. That night, as Elder Jinchi admired the jeweled kasaya, he lamented why he didn't possess such a beautiful garment. At that moment, one of his disciples, Guang, hatched a sinister plan. He suggested that if Tharn Shanzong and Sun Wukong were to accidentally die in a fire, then the kasaya would rightfully belong to Elder Jinchi. To claim the kasaya for himself, Elder Jinchi tacitly agreed to Guang's treacherous scheme. Guang and his fellow disciple, Guangmo, instructed the other monks to bring kerosene to the meditation hall where Tharn Shanzong was staying and pour it around the area. The monks carried out their plan stealthily, but the commotion was noticed by the white dragon horse, who warned Sun Wukong from a distance. Sensing something was amiss, Sun Wukong transformed into a monk to infiltrate their ranks and gather information about their plot. Upon discovering that Elder Jinchi planned to set fire to kill him and his master to possess the jeweled kasaya, an enraged Sun Wukong flew to the heavenly palace to borrow the fire-repelling hood from the heavenly king Guang. He then placed the hood over the meditation hall where Tharn Shanzong was sleeping. The fire quickly spiraled out of control. Initially, the monks only intended to burn down the hall where Tharn Shanzong was, but the blaze grew so intense that it engulfed the entire Guanyin temple. The meditation hall protected by the hood remained completely unharmed. Guang urgently approached Elder Jinchi, urging him to escape. In the chaos, however, Elder Jinchi realized that the jeweled kasaya had vanished without a trace. After losing both his Guanyin temple and the jeweled kasaya, Elder Jinchi was overwhelmed with shame. Unable to cope, he tragically took his own life, ultimately being consumed by the flames. A once great monk lost his life due to his greed. The jeweled kasaya was stolen by the black bear Guai, who had targeted him from the start, and the black bear Guai was actually friends with Elder Jinchi. I will be updating the video on the black bear Guai soon. If you want to see the continuation of Journey to the West, please remember to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any future updates on my series. Thank you. Elder Jinchi's ability to live to 270 years old may have been due to the longevity spells taught to him by the black bear Guai. In Black Myth Wukong, Elder Jinchi encounters the black bear Guai in his youth. Instead of devouring him, the black bear Guai gives him a bag of gold and silver treasures, possibly sparking Elder Jinchi's greed at that moment. The fire at Guanyin Temple spiraled out of control, not due to a miscalculation by the monks, but because Sun Wukong later admitted to Tharn Shanzong that he had fanned the flames. Perhaps, at that moment, Sun Wukong still lacked a compassionate heart. He would repay others' ill treatment with even greater severity. Tharn Shanzong aimed to cultivate Sun Wukong's compassion, but at that time, there was still a long way to go. Did you know that the tightening band on Sun Wukong's head is actually one of 3 bands given by the Buddha to Guanyin? Besides the tightening band, there are also the gold band and the restraining band. These 3 represent the Buddhist concepts of greed, anger, and ignorance, each associated with a specific incantation known as the 3 tightening spells. Guanyin taught one of these spells, the tightening spell, to Tharn Shanzong and placed the tightening band on Sun Wukong's head, allowing Tharn Shanzong to control him. The gold band was given to the red boy, while the restraining band was given to black bear Guai. Sun Wukong and Tharn Shanzong passed by Guanyin Temple and asked the abbot, Elder Jinchi, if they could stay for the night. Greedy Elder Jinchi coveted the jeweled Kasaya that Guanyin had bestowed upon Tharng Shanzong. Following his disciple Guang's Sinister plan, he set fire to the meditation hall where Tharng Shanzong was staying, intending to make it appear as though Sun Wukong and Tharng Shanzong had died in the blaze, allowing him to claim the Kasaya for himself. When Sun Wukong discovered Elder Jinchi's treacherous plot, he flew to the heavenly court and borrowed a fire-repelling hood from the heavenly king Guangmu. He then placed the hood over the meditation hall where Tharng Shanzong was sleeping. Finally, Sun Wukong fanned the flames, causing the fire to spread uncontrollably from Tharng Shanzong's meditation hall to the entire Guanyin Temple. 20 miles from Guanyin Temple lies Black Wind Mountain, where a demon named Black Bear Guai resides in a cave called Black Wind Cave. From the mountain, one can view the entire Guanyin Temple, so when the temple caught fire, Black Bear Guai's underlings immediately informed him. Elder Jinchi had known Black Bear Guai since his youth, and the secret to his longevity, living to 270 years old, might have been taught to him by Black Bear Guai. Seeing the fire at Guanyin Temple, Black Bear Guai was immediately concerned for his friend Elder Jinchi's safety. He flew to the temple to help extinguish the flames. However, when he pushed open the door to Elder Jinchi's room, he was surprised to find the elder asleep, draped in the jeweled Kasaya. From the moment Sun Wukong and Tharng Shanzong set foot on Black Wind Mountain, Black Bear Guai had spotted Sun Wukong playing with the jeweled Kasaya. At that time, he already desired the Kasaya but refrained from taking action, as he was unsure of Sun Wukong's strength. However, when he saw the coveted Kasaya in Elder Jinchi's room, greed overcame him, and he abandoned his attempt to extinguish the fire, taking the opportunity to steal the Kasaya. Later, Guanyin Temple was completely destroyed by the flames. Elder Jinchi, devastated by the loss of the jeweled Kasaya, could not bear the despair and ended up taking his own life, ultimately perishing in the fire. Black Bear Guai enjoyed discussing Buddhist teachings, meditation, and alchemy. After obtaining the jeweled Kasaya, he invited his demon friends, White-Clad Noble and Ling Shijie, to share insights on alchemy. He planned to host a Buddha robe gathering in honor of the Kasaya on the day before his birthday. While they were discussing the event, Sun Wukong, who was searching for the stolen Kasaya, discovered that Black Bear Guai was indeed the thief and immediately attacked with his Rui Jingu barn. The White-Clad Noble was killed on the spot, while Black Bear Guai and Ling Shijie transformed into the wind and escaped. Sun Wukong pursued them to Black Wind Cave, where he called for the cave doors to open and fought Black Bear Guai for over a dozen rounds, with neither gaining the upper hand. As noon approached, Black Bear Guai used the excuse of needing to eat lunch to retreat into the cave, closing the doors behind him. He then arranged a feast and wrote invitations to summon the demon kings from the nearby mountains to attend the Buddha robe gathering. Meanwhile, Sun Wukong returned to Guanyin Temple to report the situation to Tharng Shanzong. Unaware that Elder Jinchi had already taken his own life, Black Bear Guai wrote an invitation for him as well. When the messenger demon went to deliver the invitation at Guanyin Temple, he ran into Sun Wukong, who killed him with a single strike. After reading the invitation, Sun Wukong disguised himself as Elder Jinchi and headed straight for Black Wind Cave. When Black Bear Guai saw Jinchi arriving so quickly, he suspected that Sun Wukong might have sent Elder Jinchi to demand the return of the Kasaya. He instructed the smaller demons to hide the Kasaya and began talking with the disguised Jinchi. However, a patrolling demon discovered the body of the messenger demon and quickly informed Black Bear Guai that the Jinchi before him was actually Sun Wukong in disguise. Realizing the deception, Black Bear Guai grabbed a spear and attacked Sun Wukong, who pulled out his Rui Jingu barn from his ear and fought back. The two battled fiercely from the cave entrance to the mountaintop and then high up into the clouds. As evening approached, Black Bear Guai used the darkness as an excuse to call a truce and retreated back into the cave, where he locked himself inside, leaving Sun Wukong unable to break through the entrance. After failing twice to retrieve the jeweled Kasaya, Sun Wukong feared being scolded by Tharn Shanzong. So he went to the southern sea to seek help from Guan. The two of them returned to Black Wind Mountain, where they happened to encounter Ling Shijie carrying 2 elixirs on a glass tray, on his way to the Buddha robe gathering. Sun Wukong killed him with a single strike, ate one of the elixirs, and then asked Guan to transform into Ling Shijie, while he disguised himself as one of the elixirs on the tray. The disguised Ling Shijie presented the elixirs to Black Bear Guai, who, unaware of the trick, swallowed the Sun Wukong transformed elixir. Once inside Black Bear Guai's stomach, Sun Wukong began to cause havoc, making the demons suffer immense pain. Black Bear Guai, overwhelmed with agony, knelt down and begged for mercy. Guan then revealed her true form and placed the restraining band on Black Bear Guai's head, persuading him to embrace the Buddhist path. Black Bear Guai agreed, and Guan performed a blessing on him, ordaining him as a guardian deity and taking him to Mount Luojia to serve as the mountain's protector. Sun Wukong successfully retrieved the jeweled Kasaya and returned it to Tharn Shanzong. The two then continued their journey to the western heaven to fetch the scriptures. Their next destination would be Gao village in the Wushu country, where Tharn Shanzong would meet his next disciple, Zhu Bajian. I've already made a video about Zhu Bajian's story, which you can find in the description or on my channel. I will continue creating Journey to the West videos, including the story of the demon at Yellow Wind Ridge. So make sure to subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any future updates. Thank you. Black Bear Guai had a deep appreciation for Buddhist teachings, and his desire to possess the Kasaya, a sacred Buddhist robe, was driven by greed. However, this also indicated that his nature wasn't entirely evil. He merely needed guidance. That's why Guan didn't eliminate him, but instead subdued him, placed a restraining band on his head, and appointed him as the guardian of Mount Luojia. In Journey to the West, White-Clad Noble and Ling Shijie had minor roles, appearing briefly as demons who were swiftly defeated by Sun Wukong. However, in Black Myth Wukong, they've been reimagined as boss characters encountered during the game, which serves as a tribute to them. In contrast, Black Bear Guai is the final boss of the level, reflecting his greater significance in the story. If you enjoy my channel, please help by hitting the subscribe button and turning on the notification bell so you won't miss my upcoming videos. Thank you for watching until the end, and I'll see you next time.